The Boat in Bodrum. Part 1. A few days in Bodrum. Hanımefendi and Beyefendi live in Istanbul. They have a good life there. Their days are usually busy. They both enjoy working, reading, learning, and spending time together. They have worked hard for many years, and they know that a good life needs both effort and enjoyment. They do not expect life to be perfect. They simply want to enjoy it. Now they are in Bodrum for a short holiday. They are staying in a small white house close to the sea. The house is comfortable, but it is not new. The wooden doors have small marks, the garden is a little wild, and there is an old wooden table under a large tree. Hanımefendi likes the house immediately. It has character, she says. Beyefendi looks at the table. It definitely has character. They laugh. Beyefendi is carrying 2 bags. One contains clothes, the other contains fishing equipment. Part 2. The fishing equipment. Hanımefendi looks at the second bag. You brought all that for 3 days. I need it. You have enough fishing equipment for 3 people. I like to be prepared. You are going fishing every day, aren't you? Of course. She smiles. Beyefendi loves the sea. He loves fishing, boats, small harbours, and long conversations with people who know the water. Whenever they travel to a coastal town, he looks for a place where he can rent a small boat. Sometimes he fishes. Sometimes he simply sits on the boat and watches the sea. For him, the sea is not only a place. It is a way to slow down. He looks at the water and forgets about work. Hanımefendi understands this. She has her own way of relaxing. She brings books, a lot of books. She also has a notebook where she writes interesting ideas, new words, and things she wants to learn. You bring books, Beyefendi says. I bring fishing equipment, Hanımefendi answers. Fair enough. They look at each other. Then they laugh. Part 3. The first morning. The next morning, Beyefendi wakes up early. The sun is just coming up. He quietly gets dressed. He takes his fishing bag and walks outside. Hanımefendi is already sitting in the garden. She has a cup of coffee and a book. You're awake, he says. I usually wake up early. You are reading already? Yes. What are you reading? She closes the book. Just something interesting. Beyefendi smiles. Again? Yes. He looks toward the sea. I'm going to the harbour. I know. How? You have your fishing bag. He laughs. I may catch something for dinner. Then I will prepare the salad. Deal. He starts walking away. Then Hanımefendi calls him. Beyefendi? He turned. Don't forget your phone. I don't need it. What if I need you? He looks at the phone in his hand. Good point. He puts it in his pocket. Part 4. The harbour. The harbour is quiet. A few fishermen are preparing their boats. Some people are drinking tea. The smell of the sea is everywhere. Beyefendi walks slowly along the harbour. He knows that he could rent a modern boat, but he prefers a small, traditional fishing boat. He stops near an old man who is cleaning a net. Good morning. Good morning. Is the sea calm today? The old man looks toward the water. Very calm. Good for fishing? The old man smiles. Good for thinking. Beyefendi smiles. I agree. The old man looks at him carefully. You are not from here? No. Istanbul. Holiday? Yes. With your wife? Yes. Good. The old man returns to his net. Enjoy it while you can. Beyefendi pauses. There is something strange about the sentence. What do you mean? The old man looks at the sea. Nothing. Then he smiles. Have a good day. Beyefendi continues walking. He does not think much about the conversation, but he remembers the sentence. Enjoy it while you can. Part 5. A quiet morning. Back at the house, Hanımefendi is still reading. She enjoys the quiet. In Istanbul, there is always noise. Cars, phones, people, traffic, work, messages. Here, she can hear birds. She can hear the wind moving through the trees. She can hear the sea. She closes her book. She looks at the sky. She takes a slow breath. For 10 minutes, she does nothing. Then her phone rings. It is her son, Emre. Hello, Mom. Hello, my son. Where is Dad? He is fishing. Of course. They laugh. How are you? She asks. Busy? Very busy. Yes. Are you eating properly? Mom. She laughs. Okay, I won't ask. There is a short silence. Then Emre says, I miss you. Hanımefendi smiles. We miss you too. How is Bodrum? Beautiful. Send me some pictures. I will. I have to go. I have a meeting. Already? Yes. Okay. Take care. You too. Hanımefendi looks at the phone. She does not feel sad. She knows her son has his own life. He is working hard. He is learning. He is building his future. She simply hopes he remembers to enjoy the present too. Part 6. The Boat. Beyefendi returns around noon. He looks happy. How was it? Very good. Did you catch anything? He opens his bag. Look. Hanımefendi looks inside. There are several fish. That's enough for dinner. I think so. He sits down. But something interesting happened. What? I met an old fisherman. Where? At the harbour. What did he say? Beyefendi tells her about the conversation. He said, enjoy it while you can. Hanımefendi becomes quiet. Interesting. Why? I don't know. She looks toward the sea. Maybe it means exactly what it says. Beyefendi smiles. You're making it mysterious. Maybe it is mysterious. He laughs. Come on, let's prepare lunch. They go inside. Neither of them notices the small boat moving slowly across the water. There is only one person in it, and the boat is heading toward the small bay beside their house. Chapter 2. The Stranger. That afternoon, Hanımefendi is sitting outside with her book. Beyefendi is repairing a small fishing line. The weather is warm, but the wind is getting stronger. Suddenly, Beyefendi looks toward the sea. Do you see that boat? Hanımefendi looks up. Yes. That's strange. Why? It isn't one of the boats from the harbour. The small boat moves slowly toward the shore. There is one man inside. He stops near the beach. He gets out. Then he looks toward their house. Hanımefendi closes her book. Do you know him? No. The man begins walking toward them. Beyefendi stands up. Can I help you? The man stops. He looks at Beyefendi, then at Hanımefendi. Then he asks, Are you staying in this house? Yes, Beyefendi says. The man looks at the old wooden table. Then he asks, Did you find anything? Hanımefendi and Beyefendi look at each other. What do you mean? She asks. The man does not answer immediately. Instead, he looks toward the house. There used to be a family here. Hanımefendi remembers the old notebook. Her expression changes. What family? The man looks at her. The family who owned the boat? Beyefendi stands completely still. What boat? The man points toward the sea. The old blue boat. Then he walks away. Hanımefendi watches him disappear toward the harbour. Beyefendi looks at her. What notebook? She says nothing. He looks confused. Hanımefendi? She slowly stands up. I think I need to show you something. She walks into the house. The old wooden box is still under the table, and inside it, the notebook is waiting. Hanımefendi puts the notebook on the table. Beyefendi opens it. The handwriting is old. The first sentence is simple. Do not wait for a perfect day. He turns the page. The perfect day does not exist. Another page. Work hard, but do not forget to live. Beyefendi looks at his wife. That sounds like us. She smiles. Maybe. He continues reading. Learn something every day. Another page. Take care of the people around you. Then, repair what you can. Then, do not waste what is valuable. Beyefendi stops. These are strange things to write in a notebook. Maybe they were important to the person who wrote them. He turns another page. There is only one sentence. And when the right moment comes, be there. Neither of them speaks. Outside, the sea is becoming darker. Then Beyefendi notices something. A small photograph is inside the notebook. He takes it out. It shows the same house, the same garden, and the same old wooden table. But in the photograph, there is something else. A blue fishing boat. Beyefendi looks carefully. That's the boat. Hanımefendi looks at him. The boat from the sea? He nods. Yes. Then his phone rings. It is Emre. Beyefendi answers. Hello? There is silence on the other side. Then Emre says, Dad? Yes? I need to tell you something. Beyefendi looks at Hanımefendi. What happened? Emre takes a breath. I think someone is following me. The line goes silent. Beyefendi stands up. What? But there is no answer. The call has ended. Hanımefendi looks at him. What did he say? Beyefendi slowly puts the phone down. He thinks someone is following him. For a moment, they simply stare at each other. Then Hanımefendi picks up the photograph. The blue boat is still there. She looks toward the dark sea. Maybe this is not about the house. Beyefendi looks at her. Then what is it about? She turns the photograph over. There is something written on the back. A single number, 17. Beyefendi looks at it. 17. I don't know. He takes his jacket. Then let's find out. They leave the house together. Behind them, the old notebook remains open on the table. And outside, somewhere beyond the darkness, the blue boat is still moving. Chapter 3. The Search. The sun has almost disappeared. Hanımefendi and Beyefendi walk quickly toward the harbour. Neither of them speaks much. Beyefendi is still thinking about Emre. He sounded frightened. I know. Maybe we should call him again. Wait. Why? If someone really is following him, we don't want to make things worse. Beyefendi stops. She is right. He puts his phone back into his pocket. They continue walking. When they reach the harbour, most of the fishermen have already gone home. Only a few people remain. The old fisherman is still there. He looks at them. You came back. Beyefendi takes out the photograph. We need to ask you something. The old man looks at the photograph. Then he looks at the number on the back. 17. His expression changes. Where did you find that? In the house. The old fisherman becomes quiet. Who wrote this number? We don't know. He looks toward the sea. Then he says, come with me. The old fisherman leads them along a narrow road behind the harbour. They walk past several small houses. Finally, they stop in front of an old wooden building. The door is almost hidden behind a large tree. Beyefendi looks at it. What is this place? The old boathouse. Hanımefendi looks at the building carefully. Was this owned by the family? Yes. Does anyone use it now? No. The fisherman takes an old key from his pocket. He opens the door. Inside there are old fishing nets, wooden boxes, ropes, tools, and photographs. Hanımefendi walks slowly around the room. She sees a photograph of the same blue boat. Then another. And another. Beyefendi notices something on the wall. There's a large number painted on a wooden board. 17. He looks at Hanımefendi. The number. She nods. This must be where it comes from. The fisherman looks at them. The number has been there for many years. What does it mean? Beyefendi asks. The old man points toward a small wooden box. Open it. Beyefendi opens the box. Inside there is an old key, and underneath it, a folded piece of paper. Hanımefendi opens it. There are only a few words. When the boat returns, open the door. Beyefendi looks at the fisherman. What door? The old man points toward the back of the building. There is another room. They walk toward the back of the building. There is a narrow wooden door. Beyefendi tries the key. It doesn't work. He tries again. Nothing. Maybe the key is for something else. Hanımefendi looks at the photograph. Wait. She takes the old photograph from her bag. There is something in the background that she did not notice before. A small metal door. She looks around the room. Then she sees it. Behind an old shelf. There. Beyefendi moves the shelf. A small metal door appears. There is a lock. He tries the old key. Click. The door opens. Inside is a very small room. There are no windows. There is a wooden desk. On the desk is an old telephone, and beside it, another photograph. Hanımefendi picks it up. Her face changes. Beyefendi. What? She turns the photograph around. It is Emre. He is standing beside the blue boat. The photograph is recent, very recent. Beyefendi takes it from her. When was this taken? The fisherman looks at it. Yesterday. Beyefendi becomes angry. Why didn't you tell us Emre was here? The fisherman raises his hands. I didn't know. You just said yesterday. I knew someone had been here. I did not know it was your son. Hanımefendi looks at the photograph again. There is something written on the back. If you find this, don't trust the man from the house. Suddenly, the old telephone rings. Everyone freezes. The sound is loud in the small room. Ring, ring, ring. Beyefendi looks at Hanımefendi. Who could that be? The telephone continues ringing. The old fisherman whispers, answer it. Beyefendi slowly picks up the receiver. Hello? There is silence. Then a voice speaks. Beyefendi? He immediately recognizes it. Emre. Hanımefendi moves closer. Where are you? I'm safe. Where? I can't tell you. Why? Because someone is looking for me. Beyefendi grips the phone tightly. Who? I don't know exactly. Are you hurt? No. Hanımefendi speaks loudly. Emre, we are here with you. Tell us where you are. There is a pause. Then Emre says, look at the blue boat. Beyefendi looks through the small window. The sea is almost completely dark. Why? Because it is the reason they are looking. What is on the boat? Emre takes a breath. Something that belongs to the family. The line suddenly becomes quiet. Emre? Nothing. Emre. The call ends. Beyefendi puts down the receiver. We have to find that boat. The old fisherman nods. I know where it is. They leave the boathouse. The moon is now visible above the sea. The old fisherman points toward a small bay. There, far away, they can see a faint light. A boat. Beyefendi takes the binoculars. He looks carefully. The blue boat. Hanımefendi looks at him. Can we reach it? With my boat. The old fisherman shakes his head. Take mine. Beyefendi looks surprised. Are you sure? The old man smiles. Some things are more important than a boat. They hurry toward the harbour. A few minutes later, the small fishing boat leaves the shore. Hanımefendi sits beside Beyefendi. The old fisherman stands behind them. The blue boat is getting closer. Then they see someone standing on it. Beyefendi looks through the binoculars. He becomes completely still. It's Emre. Hanımefendi stands. Emre. The figure on the blue boat raises his hand, but then another figure appears behind him. Beyefendi's expression changes. There is someone else. Hanımefendi looks at him. Who? I don't know. The blue boat suddenly turns. It begins moving away from them. Hold on, Beyefendi shouts. He pushes the engine forward. Their boat accelerates across the dark water. The chase has begun. Chapter 4. The Chase. The blue boat moves quickly across the dark water. Beyefendi pushes the engine forward. Hold on. Hanımefendi looks behind them. They are turning toward the rocks. I see them. How? The waves. She looks at him. What about the waves? The water is darker on the left. There are rocks underneath. Hanımefendi looks again. He is right. The blue boat changes direction just before reaching the rocks. They know the bay, she says. Yes. Beyefendi slows down. We shouldn't follow them directly. Why? If they know we are following them, they will keep running. Hanımefendi looks toward the shore. There is another way. She points toward a narrow passage between two small islands. We can go around? Beyefendi smiles. Good. They turn the boat. The old fisherman watches them. You two know the sea. Beyefendi says nothing. Hanımefendi watches the blue boat disappear behind the island. They think they lost us. Good. They pass quietly through the narrow passage. A few minutes later, they see the blue boat again. But something is wrong. It has stopped. There is nobody standing on it. Beyefendi turns off the engine. The three of them move closer without making much noise. The blue boat is empty. Hanımefendi looks inside. There is a rope. Beyefendi points to the side. The rope is wet. So? It was recently in the water. Hanımefendi looks at the sea. They left the boat. She points toward the rocks. There. A small, wet footprint is visible on the stone, then another. Beyefendi follows the footprints with his eyes. They went that way. The old fisherman looks surprised. There is an old path through the rocks. Can we follow it? Yes. They tie their boat and climb onto the rocks. The path is narrow. Hanımefendi walks first. Suddenly she stops. What? She points to the ground. A small piece of dark fabric is caught on a bush. She picks it up. This is from Emre's jacket. Beyefendi takes it. He came this way. They continue. The path leads to a small cave. There is light inside. Beyefendi raises his hand. Everyone stops. They hear voices. One man says, "Where is it?" Another voice answers, "I don't know." Beyefendi looks at Hanımefendi. She quietly points toward the entrance. There are two men inside. One is the man who came to their house. The other is standing beside Emre. Emre's hands are tied. Hanımefendi whispers, "There are two." Beyefendi nods. The old fisherman stays behind them. Beyefendi looks at the cave carefully. There are two exits. One is behind the men. The other is beside Emre. He whispers, "When I move, go to Emre." Hanımefendi nods. Beyefendi picks up a small stone. He throws it toward the opposite side of the cave. The sound echoes. Both men turn. Beyefendi moves immediately. He reaches the first man before he can react. The man swings at him. Beyefendi steps aside and catches his arm. With one quick movement, he brings the man's arm behind his back. The man falls to his knees. At the same moment, Hanımefendi reaches Emre. The second man tries to stop her. She moves away from his first attack. He reaches for her again. She catches his wrist, turns his arm, and pushes him against the cave wall. Don't move. The man struggles. She keeps his arm firmly controlled. Emre looks at her in surprise. Mom? Are you okay? Yes. Good. Beyefendi looks at the other man. Now we can talk. The two men sit on the ground. Emre's hands are free. Beyefendi looks at the man from the house. Who are you? The man says nothing. Hanımefendi looks around the cave. There are several boxes. One is open. Inside are old documents. She looks at the papers. That's what you wanted. The man finally speaks. Yes. What are they? Property documents. Beyefendi looks at Emre. You knew about this? Emre nods. I discovered that the old family still owns the house and the land. The man interrupts. They don't even live here. That doesn't mean you can take it, Hanımefendi says. The man looks at her. We were going to buy it. You tried to find the documents first. He says nothing. Emre continues. I found evidence that the property was never legally sold. Beyefendi looks at the old notebook. And the boat? Emre points toward the documents. The boat is part of the same property. Hanımefendi looks at the man. So you followed Emre because you thought he had the documents? Yes. And you followed us because you thought we had found them? The man lowers his head. Yes. Beyefendi takes out his phone. The police will be interested in this conversation. The man's face changes. You called them? Not yet. Beyefendi smiles. But I can. They leave the cave. The night air is cool. Emre walks between his parents. Hanımefendi looks at him. You could have told us everything. I didn't want you to worry. You made us worry much more. I know. Beyefendi puts his hand on Emre's shoulder. Next time, call us immediately. I promise. The old fisherman looks at Emre. You found the truth. Emre smiles. I found part of it. The fisherman looks toward the sea. Sometimes that is enough. They walk back toward the boats. Before they leave, Hanımefendi turns around. She looks at the cave, then at the old blue boat. She realizes something. Beyefendi. Yes? The number. 17. She nods. The boathouse, the photograph, the cave. She looks toward the old fisherman. They are all connected. The fisherman smiles. Yes. What does 17 mean? The old man points toward the blue boat. It was the number of the boat. Beyefendi laughs. We spent all this time looking for a secret meaning. The fisherman smiles. Sometimes a number is just a number. Everyone laughs. They climb into the boat. This time, they are going home together. Chapter 5. Home Again. The sun rises slowly over Bodrum. Hanımefendi wakes up early. For a moment, she forgets everything that happened. Then she sees Emre sleeping on the sofa. She smiles. He is home. She quietly walks into the kitchen. Beyefendi is already there. He is making coffee. You're awake. I always wake up early. He smiles. How is our detective? Hanımefendi laughs. Very tired. They look at Emre. After everything that happened, the house feels peaceful again. Emre wakes up an hour later. He walks into the kitchen. Good morning. Good morning, his mother says. Coffee. Please. They sit around the old wooden table. Beyefendi puts bread, cheese, tomatoes, olives, and eggs on the table. Emre looks at the food. I missed this. Hanımefendi smiles. You should visit more often. I will. Beyefendi looks at him. And next time, don't come with people following you. Emre laughs. I'll try. They all laugh. For the first time, the previous night's events feel far away. After breakfast, Emre opens the old notebook. There is one more thing. Hanımefendi looks at him. What? I found the last document. He puts a folded paper on the table. Beyefendi opens it. It is an old legal document. It confirms that the house, the boat, and the land belong to the family. There is also a handwritten note at the bottom. Keep this place alive. Hanımefendi looks around the house. The family wanted people to live here. Yes. Not to turn it into a hotel? No. Beyefendi smiles. Then they would probably like us. Emre laughs. I think they would. Emre looks toward the sea. What are you going to do with the house? Hanımefendi looks at Beyefendi. What do you think? He looks at the old table. The house needs some work. She smiles. That sounds like a yes. Beyefendi nods. We can keep coming here. Emre smiles. Can I come too? Hanımefendi looks at him. Of course. And maybe bring some friends. Maybe. Beyefendi raises his hand. But nobody touches my fishing equipment. Emre laughs. Deal. That afternoon, they repair the old wooden table. Beyefendi fixes one of the legs. Emre cleans the surface. Hanımefendi paints a small flower on one corner. When they finish, they step back. The table is not perfect. One scratch remains. One corner is slightly darker than the rest, but it looks beautiful. Emre smiles. I like it better now. Beyefendi looks at the table. It has a story. Hanımefendi nods. So do we. Before sunset, Beyefendi takes Emre fishing. Hanımefendi comes with them. You're coming fishing? Beyefendi asks. Yes. Why? I want to see if you can actually catch anything. Emre laughs. You're in trouble now, Dad. Beyefendi starts the engine. The small boat moves away from the shore. The old blue boat is nearby. It is quiet and peaceful. Emre looks at it. That boat caused a lot of trouble. Beyefendi smiles. And brought us together. Hanımefendi looks at the sunset. Maybe that is what matters. They continue across the water. No one is following them. No one is hiding. No one is afraid. Just the three of them, the sea, and the evening sky. Later that night, they return to the house. The old fisherman is sitting near the harbour. Beyefendi waves. The fisherman raises his hand. Good night. Good night, Emre calls. They walk home together. Hanımefendi looks at her family. She thinks about the first day they arrived in Bodrum. They came here for a short holiday. They expected quiet mornings, fishing, books, and good food. Instead, they found an old secret. They found a forgotten family story. They found a mysterious boat. And, for a short time, they were afraid. But now Emre is home. The house is safe. The old boat is safe. And the family is together. Beyefendi opens the door. Dinner? Hanımefendi smiles. Of course. Emre walks inside. I'm starving. They laugh. The door closes behind them. Outside, the sea moves gently under the moonlight. The blue boat rests quietly near the shore. And the old house begins another night full of memories. This time, there is no mystery. There is only peace.